Well, good morning to you, Miss Turkey. It is morning. Hey guys, Abraham here at the acres and almost fishing too. Almost fishing. 2 days. 2 days. It has been quite a while since I've given an update on what is going on out here at the acres as the birdies are waiting for me to give them some food. So I'll head on over and do that. Wow. I think it's been 5 weeks maybe. And I don't know. I guess time just flew. Time just flew. I try to get stuff out to you, just sort of show you what's going on, and all of a sudden time flies, and here we're at. So as I guess I've just stepped over, and maybe you noticed that long trail coming down around. We got mounds. So that's our little drive path, sort of down our fence line, get past our cattle, down to the pigs. And this topsoil will be used to go on top the mound later in the month. So most likely when I get back from Alaska, that should all be, this should be gone. This should have some bigger size rock and then some gravel on top, and then has it coming in here to the entry, so that will be real nice for bringing the cattle trailer down and all the feed that is like right here. So let me just get them some feed, and then we're gonna head down and go down to the cattle. I'm guessing there is not a baby yet. Cruella, I think she's our oldest mom. She is showing quite a bit on the backside, but she still needs her udder to be enlarged yet, and then I'll know for sure she's gonna have one soon. So, but I have moved the chicken mobile out into the pasture and just slowly taking it around. So here, I'll set you down and there we go. Come on, you're in the way of the camera. Come on, Miss Turkey. So the chickens have been doing real well. We did have a 3-day incident, 3 days in a row, where we lost a bird each day. And that was when the first section of the hoop house, that one was gone, blowing off. And of course the other one was on the other side at the moment. I still hadn't lined it up yet. Those birds didn't know where to go, and apparently there must have been something in the area. So I did use some of the premier fence to go around the birds for quite a few weeks, and then we didn't have any more loss after that. And then when I moved them into here, this side of the cattle fencing, they've been doing well also. Nothing's passed through the fence line. I'm gonna quickly, as I chit chat with you this morning, I'm gonna go grab 2 of the pigtail line, step-in line posts. When I knew that they were gonna start to work on this road here, I wanted to get the cattle out to take advantage of the taller clover and grass that was growing on this side of the fence line. So then I was using up all my posts to post each day. And so in doing so, when I went back out to the pasture, I did not have my pigtails. And so now with it being a little drier out there, it's easier to step in the pigtails than it is to push just a regular rotted post with a knob on. So that's what I'm doing. This is gonna be pretty nice. Driving down, not thinking about having to get stuck. Yeah. So we're walking to the cattle. So if this works out as it should, they will all come to where we're walking here, because I'm just gonna roll it back about 15 feet and they'll pass us. And you get to see them pass. So let me set you up here. Just happen to have a wood post available for us. Set you on. And there we go. So the last one that came through, that white one there, that's Cruella. And wow, she is like looking very loose in the backside. So that to me should tell me that she should be having babies soon. Even this one here, but they can be having it possibly soon, but they need their udder to get full. Because if the udder doesn't get full, that means it's not getting that first round of colostrum in there, of which the baby needs for that first week. Look at the baby's run from last year. Woohoo! I have it set up from yesterday that my water line is going right here. So all I need to do is just push it under the fence, and then we're set there. And then I will go back and get that line from up there and push it forward. Alrighty, I have 3 posts removed, so a little easier to just step them in versus, you know, like pushing them quick down to the ground. especially when I'm trying to have everything set nice for when I leave here for a while, that Renee and the kids can just hopefully have it as easy as possible. One thing you'll maybe notice, I'm walking, many times I'm looking down. The reason that is I'm watching for nests, or look what I found here. I brought out 3 pigtails, or 2, and I had a third one. Here's 3 more. I'm guessing those 3 are there because that, I believe, was like our last spot at the end of winter where I could no longer step posts in, and we didn't feed the cattle out because it got wet so quick this year that I had to feed them in the pole barn. But going back to where I'm looking down, I'm looking for nests because my thought this year is I'm not going to mow with, you know, with our Alice there out here. My plan is I'm just gonna let the cattle do everything on their own this year. When I would mow last year, it would go down to about 6 inches ish, but just gonna try something different. So that has kept the birds, I believe, around because there's all this tall grass, and I have been seeing nests out here. Some nests are maybe a foot off the ground and they're like attached to the grass, and other nests are almost completely on the ground but not on the ground. So I think that's what's going on there. I think I'm seeing more birds, frogs, toads. So I'm gonna try and keep it a little more natural. So that might mean it's gonna, I don't know, maybe it's gonna maybe not look as kept because, you know, the cattle aren't gonna literally eat every stem down to the same height. So we'll see what happens. And goes in my pail here. Well, that was a nice little find. I would have found them eventually, but so we are set. I'm trying to give you a walkthrough here because the next walkthrough won't be for about 6 weeks. Renee will take some pictures and throw those up, but an actual video, I'll have the camera with me in Alaska. So another thing we did for prepping here is we have our feed barrels set. Eventually the baby piggies will come over into this tall area. There's 2 sections, so each section minus where the sows are is 1/10 of an acre. And then this is the section that the piggies had from like October, November, December, January, February, where they would run between these 2 huts and these 2 pens. So the grass and weeds and stuff is gradually growing up. Let's head down here. So we're working on a little wrap around here. Again, that's supposed to be, you know, a road, more gravel, so that way when the water comes down the hill and then eventually flows this way, we can drive in on this nice gravel pad. So that spot there, probably gonna have them knock that out yet, so it's a little better, because otherwise I can drive up and back up here right to the piggies. So with that, these huts, which again were for our chickens that didn't want to join our other chickens, I need to get this straightened out here. But let's get you on these 4-week, 2-day-old piggies. So what I've noticed here for the most part is the piggies always go to the same, I'm gonna say, nipple every time. So no matter what size and whatever it is or how many are available, they always go to the same one. Somebody's releasing some air. The water is working real well. So we've been filling that up a little more often. We did get them castrated 2 days ago, so on their 4-week-old birthday, that took place. This girl here, she has her area and has her barrel feed. Again, you can sort of tell the difference of where she's been to a spot that was not used since, I believe, last October-ish. But she's not visually showing pregnant there. I hope she does. We have 10 babies there, but I had the boar in with this one first, and then a month later moved it to her. If for some reason she's not, and we'll know by, well, I think it's like, might be the 3rd week of August would be when she'd have to have the piggies if she was, because that's when the boar left. But beginning of July-ish or so, we should already see her starting to bag up and stuff. Otherwise she'll end up going to market. Just can't have a sow that's not gonna get pregnant and then have babies, because even just, you know, having the babies, which I don't know if they all would have made it or not. She, you know, this one had 14 and 3 came out not living, and then we lost like the really tiny one too after a day or two. So she has 10, but she only has 12 nipples to nurse on, from what I can tell. Look at that. There you can see her nursing away there. So can't feed a sow that's not gonna produce some babies for us. At least give you know, a chance to have babies to eventually make money on by selling the pork. But these guys, they are really, the last few days, just been starting to dive in to have some feed. As in, I mean, it's always available, but they've been doing it. And then they go under the fence, and then we'll see them halfway up the green, visiting with the chickens. So at the moment, they go everywhere. But they like that. So I'm gonna get these guys fed and then move on to the layers that are right over 8 weeks old, and then the Cornish cross that are right over 3 weeks old. And then you get to see the house. The piggies are all fed. Working up to our Cornish cross. So they have been out, let's see, for about 4 days, I think now. And they've been loving it. So this is the batch that, well, I'm gonna basically say it survived, because they lost over half their mates of being too long in the male. So this group is doing real well. Prayerfully, when we give the hatchery and the post office or I should really be more direct on that. Hatchery and the ones that are really involved with making sure that they're transitioning to where they need to go, they don't let them sit an extra day. Preferably, they're going to do well. So we're giving them another chance. If for some reason we have anything close, similar, not even close, it doesn't even have to be close, because if it's close to it, it means a lot have already passed before we got them. We're going to cancel being reimbursed our other birds, because we just can't have it. We did reach out to see if we could pick them directly up from the hatchery, because they're only a few hours away. We also wanted to just try and get them, otherwise just place at a post office near them. We would drive there and get them. Those methods have fallen through. Apparently that's not possible. So what we have done on our end is we've found out where some of our other people are getting their birds from, and those are getting, I think, by speedy delivery. So they go right from the hatchery right to us. So they would actually bring them right here to the acres, which would be pretty cool. It has worked out really well for them. And they have, I think they're gonna have over 1,000 birds. We were aiming just for 300. They're gonna have over 1,000. So we'll see. We'll see if we keep the one we have yet this year. Otherwise, we'll, again, like I say, we'll have to cancel that order, be reimbursed for whatever birds were out already, because the ones we lost, those are added to a late order, and then we would go to them. So we'll see what happens here, but they're doing real well. So what do I need to do here? I need to take their feeder out. I'll put the little dolly on the back side underneath. I'll move it ahead the 12 feet or so, and then we'll check water, put feed back in, and then that group will be done. And then we'll head down to our 41 layers that are right over 8 weeks old and do the same with them. So let me get you set up here. And I have been pulling them across the area right above the mound. So if they start to work on the mound, you know, we might not have this grass available. So that's why I got them going through up here first. There we go. They've been loving it out here. So they'll be out here for 5 weeks. And let's see what else. They will eventually get a second feeder here because we only feed them once a day. That, I don't know, that's worked well. Then they just, you know, at nighttime they're, you know, they can maybe just rest and whatever, and then we just give them some more feeding in the next day. And you know, you can sort of see they're all gathered there. It might be more routine, but there was probably an inch of feed across that whole 4-foot feeder, and they'll keep getting moved. The manure load on the backside, of course, as they get bigger, will be more, but now they have basically they have a clean bed again. And it should be a little interesting for Renee and the kids when this mound area starts to get worked on, for them to sort of zigzag the chicken tractors through. She may even pull them out into the pasture. Our first year, so not last year but the year before, we did have them out in the pasture, just because I think we just did because, but then last year we just used up all this space and just kept going back and forth and up the hill, and of which I say with pulling them it works okay. Two things would make it probably a little easier. One would be if the ground was flat. So as I say, pulling up the hill is a little more difficult than just pulling them straight across the hill. And second thing would be is the metal, which is free metal, is not aluminum. So therefore the metal itself is a little heavier. And so when you have that around the edge, that makes it a little heavier. So that's why maybe you saw that I had dumped the water. I dumped the water out of the pail. Ooh, I was gonna have to go get another pail of water. I have one. Let me set you down here a moment, and I'm gonna go dump this water in. I filled 2 buckets yesterday. As many of you who are doing the homesteading or have animals like this, if you're watching any type of YouTube, what does everybody say? You have 2 hands, so carry 2 buckets. So that way you don't have to run and get one. And it probably is easier on the body too, if your body is sort of equilibriumed out for carrying stuff versus just carrying it in one hand. We'll dump some water in there. One thing I'm already knowing, or already have seen, and I believe already knew, is, so there's 41 birds here. There is more birds there. Those birds are drinking like double the amount of water than what these layers are. So they are doing really well. Aren't you girls? You should all be girls in there, right? Oh man. All right, so I need to do the same thing. I need to pull the feeder out, and oh, I got to grab the little thing. You know, I'll set you up so you can sort of see how I'm going to put that underneath. And there we go. I'll be right back. All right, so those guys are gonna stay in there till they're about 5 months old, is my thought. Is each year, no matter what we've done, we have been losing birds to the aerial birds. So as much as I can put that premier fence around, is not going to keep out an aerial bird. So my thought is keep them inside, keep moving them like the others. But of course we have one that's going to jump out up here. I don't know if you're going to see that. Hey, what are you doing? It's for your protection that you're staying in. Oh, I didn't. I'll lift this still out yet. They're not going to get out from underneath, but what could happen is, I guess, maybe a weasel or a mink could come. And I did on this one in making it. Well, first off, I haven't ran it over yet. Some of you already know I don't know. I seemingly have struggled not to run over my chicken tractors at least once. So this one's still all square, but I did use some nice wire to wrap around the outside. We'll sort of see how that all plays out versus just regular chicken wire. So it's nice and firm. And this metal here, I'm guessing maybe weighs slightly less because it doesn't have the grooves up and down all the way. That's from the leftover stuff from the pole barn. So that was the metal I used there. And then here I did not use chicken wire. I had, with us moving from our house, I had this leftover. What did we use it for? I think we had like beans on there, like climbing beans on there in the garden. But it's worked real well to, it's nice and firm to hold the bucket of water and stuff. So the only thing I need to do here yet is add a little bit of water. So let me sit you down probably one last time before I show you the house. There we go. They're all set. Let me show you from the top view. Okay. So as I'm working up towards the house, just sort of say what I've been doing, and maybe you've noticed here already in the shot, I already had gotten this all cleaned up here. I could say cleaned up slash just organized. I put the shade mobile way down there, try to get the things organized there. A few of those things were out of the pole barn, because in the pole barn that went anything that could sort of be on wheels, like your rototiller, which I haven't used much, the mulcher, just things like that. This guy I had wanted to move. I don't think it's going to happen. Is it going to be in the way? No. After I show you the house, one thing I'm going to work on, I believe I don't have enough time yet today, because we have a parade. Eden's in a parade, so we're going to go to that. Is I need to get this cleaned out. So I'm going to bring over the track skid steer and I'll just load it in and take it down to the hoop house. But then it's the part of unloading and trying to put it in an organized fashion so you can find it again. So I want to do that. I don't know if I'll get to it today or not. But then the second thing I need to do to this guy is I'm going to try and put like a metal bracket on this side and on the other side. So that way, the person who did the digging out for us, he's going to take his bucket and put a chain to it and lift this off the well house, off the well. So lift the well house off. So I need to have everything out of there. I also need to decide where it's going to go yet. So we have to figure that out too. But then he can just lift it off. So then if I put one on this side as well, I'm hoping he can just take the chain, lift it up. Because you know, I got a green treated bottom. The walls are on 16 inches and they're insulated. So I would sort of like to keep it. What would I use it for? I don't necessarily know. As much as I don't even know where we would put it. Oh, one thing you might see when we come back too from Alaska is right here, sort of where the truck is. We're gonna sort of try and put some garden in there yet. We'll have to see what we can get out. And that eventually may be getting a greenhouse then. We're gonna try and go through the same program that we did our cattle fencing and our cattle and our field seeding for the pasture. We're gonna try and work through that program to get a greenhouse. All right, before I get too far, let me start already outside on the house. Look at the amount of dirt that is gone and leveled up, and maybe how deep it is. Yeah, there's a lot of fill that needs to come in. So what has to happen out here yet, and perfectly will happen while I'm gone. One, this mound will be leveled out. We have the electricity right here. The electricity needs to be ran. Will be run underground, past the front of the house, up into the little nook on that side over there. And then from this nook here, underground again, but way deeper, is the water from the well. So the well itself will stay, but they need to run deep underground to the house, the water line to get it in the house, and then that will be where like the pump and pressure pump and all that stuff will be. Okay, let's see what I don't remember from telling you last time and maybe new. I've been working on getting the venting up and out of the house. So a lot of it is out the house for the venting for the bathrooms, and it just needs to be connected in the house. In here, we had the opportunity to pick up a walk-in cooler. This just happened this past week. So one of our friends is moving from the area, and she had a great floral business. She said, hey, you guys wanna take me up on buying the walk-in cooler because I need to get rid of everything? And we're like, yeah, that will work. So our temporary part is we're gonna put it in this area here. Instead of spending more money and get it set up outside right away, we're gonna put it here in this portion of the garage. The biggest thing you're gonna see in the house at the moment is going to be electrical and plumbing. I should really say, electrical. There is lines running everywhere. Yeah. Others, I mean, they've had their work to do, their share, you know, to maybe do the venting out for the stove up there. But, oh my word, there is wiring and labeled going everywhere. Here was another one that I finished for venting up there. And then this is a 15-footer, which I did find out that should be the max and what you do for venting that is flexible. So we'll use that most likely in the shop part. Doors are being put in and insulated. And again, I don't know how much we'll really see in the house here yet. I mean, when we come back, this is all going to be sheetrocked. So it'll be insulated. It will be sheetrocked. It most likely will be taped and plastered or whatever they put over the sheetrock. What you're seeing is portions of the stairs, but also stacks, these stacks. Wow. Look at that, everybody. I don't know if I should get too close, but look at that, there's a pigeon. What I have noticed this year, and I haven't noticed the previous 3 years, is we're having pigeons come out. And I saw 2 pigeons probably like 3 weeks ago. Oh, look at that. That's a pigeon. I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. Whoa. So anyways, the stack, and I'll maybe focus more on this stack. So this stack is our window casing. So let me walk up and so if I squeeze through here, hopefully don't break anything. That will be used to bring out the interior, wrapping around. And then the sheetrock will go, and then it will eventually get wrapped. Again, just notes for wiring everywhere. So I have the venting done on the in-law side, but now on this side, oh, and our master bedroom. But so like here, so this will have to get cut off and then it get attached to the hole up there. But check out this door, more door action taking place. Again, when we come back, I mean, I would assume that we're gonna see all the doors on, and maybe not all the doors in the house, but doors, exterior doors, so the garage door, these 2 doors. So here is metal for the ceiling. We most likely will see that done, I would guess. I don't know, 6 weeks. You guys are probably like looking through the house like, man, what happened in 6 weeks? I don't know, it seems like there's always something happening, and sometimes I feel like nothing's happening. But in 6 weeks, this should really look different in here, because then I'm gonna have about 3 weeks before the fish comes back. And by the way, more doors. Renee and I and the kids put in some doors here too. That we need to have this up and running for our freezers. I'm walking you up here because the bathrooms all just have electric or they're plumbing stubbed. But this here has the, see how dark it is up here for you. Oh, not too bad. This one already has the shower put in for the, look at that. Pretty cool, huh? We were wondering on the height of this wall. So that lip right here, looks like we have about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch spare. Then the sheetrock will come down. I shouldn't say tile, I'm gonna say. That edge will probably get tiled. And I did put some, I didn't know for sure, but I did put backing up here, which is good, looks like it's good I did. Backing around up there. So yeah, that worked out real well. What is this? Oh, it looks like putty. Okay, a putty. So then on this side we'll have a toilet and sink. Let's get you a shot of the out the window. Right. Okay, so again, visually, I mean, if you're looking at, you've probably seen a lot of wood, but otherwise, hopefully you're seeing a lot of electrical. Here's some of the plumbing action for the geothermal. However, that works probably, well, they'll give us some tutorial upon running the system, I guess, when they're done. So biggest thing we're gonna see here when we come back, I would assume, would be all the walls are covered with sheetrock, or like the board in here for easy clean in a commercial kitchen. Exterior doors all on. We'll see some more road action taking place. So this just needs a gravel put on yet, I believe, a lighter gravel, and then the rest of the pathway done. That wraps around. And then probably a little more of grading over on this side as well. So we will have a little more stone put in up here for that door, and then this will all have some more black soil come in to taper up to the house. Visually on the outside, what you will not be seeing, you will not see any siding put up while I'm gone. That's okay. We'll work on that come fall. Then they have he has the road going down here. Again, here will be another spot that will have some soil come up yet. And you might most likely see a mound going along here. Maybe even the grass a little bit lower. All those big dirt mounds will be gone. And you will see garage doors and this coming straight out and then tapering to the mound. All right, that's a catch up. I hope you saw the end here, so that means you must have watched the complete video, because I know it got a little long. But I wanted to sort of show you everything going on, where things were at here at the acres, whether it was with the animals or the house. So guys, you have a good one. You have a great summer. Go to some parades, maybe some fireworks. Because you know, in Alaska, you know, when those fireworks go off, they're really not as vibrant, because it's just, you know, that 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, or maybe you could say 1:30 to 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, it really isn't that dark. Some people on the boat shoot off the fireworks, but it's not like darkness when fireworks really should be meant to be shot off. So enjoy those. What else? Yeah, I guess go to the parties, relax, have fun, whatever it is, enjoy. But we'll start throwing some more videos out after that. Renee will probably find some the videos to throw in there here and there. But who knows? Now all of a sudden I'm saying that, and with having what is it, Starlink? I think it's called Starlink on the boat. Who knows what we maybe can send back here to Wisconsin, and then she can figure out something with too. So otherwise, watch Facebook for some pictures and things like that. So all right guys, thanks for watching, and you guys have a great one.